Hello everyone, my name is Shri and we are going to do some origami today. We will be celebrating the doll festival, HinaMatsuri. Hina meaning doll and Matsuri means festival. Doll festival. In Japan, the doll festival is usually celebrated similar to the picture to my left, with all these dolls arranged in a specific pattern. The top two dolls are the Emperor and Empress doll, and then you have the ladies in waiting, and then the ministers of the court, and so on and so forth. And when a girl is born, the parents will start collecting the dolls on her behalf, and as she grows throughout her life, she will collect dolls and display them out during the doll festival. That's why the doll festival is also usually referred to as Girls' Day in Japan. HinaMatsuri is celebrated on the third day of the third month, so it would be March 3rd. Similar to New Year's Day, which is the first day of the first month, and Children's Day, which is the fifth day of the fifth month. So 1 1, 3 3, 5 5, and so on are some of the Japanese holidays. Um, Now, we're going to do origami, which also is a Japanese word coming from two smaller Japanese words. Oru means to fold, and kami means paper. Um, I have some social tags up there, and that is if you would like to take a picture of what you made and share it with us on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever form you choose. If you can just tag the North Shore Public Library, you may do so. And the Lifeline Origami is the Long Island Origami Group. You're welcome to tag them as well, so the local origami group knows that you did some origami for a Girls' Day or for a doll festival. So off to making our dolls, and also we will be making a Korean gift bag right after. Okay, so here we are. Here are our little hinas. And of course, they're much simpler than those very ornate dolls. But in origami, we can make them really, it's a very simple way. There are other hinas you could find that you can make, but they're not quite origami. A lot of the times they involve multiple pieces of paper put together and cut and layered together. But this is just very simple to just get us folding. Everybody can make them, and even little kids can join in this folding fun. And you can embellish them with drawing faces, or you could use stickers and embellishments as you would like. So to begin, you would have, if you have picked up the kits, that's wonderful. Otherwise, you would need two sheets of paper, one for the boy or the emperor, if you will, and one for the girl or the empress doll, like this. So you just need two sheets of paper. They are about 6 inches, 6 inch squares, so they're 6 inches both ways. And you would need, you can also make them smaller, and they can look really cute. The rest of the paper is for our next project, so I will put them away, and I'll talk more about it when we start making the Korean gift bag. But for making our dolls, we need two 6 inch sheets of paper, or smaller would be fine as well. But if you picked up the kits from the library, then you should have this paper already. These are nice little patterns, and you can we'll make the emperor doll first, or the boy version first. To start with, we would start with the white side up. Now, our first fold is actually to make a third of a fold, which means we need a third of the dimension of this. Now, this is 6 inch square, so you know a third would be about 2 inches. I'm just going to mark it approximately. I'm going to use this opportunity to teach you how to fold a third for any size of paper without having to measure, only because we will be using this method in the next model that we are going to make, which is the gift bag. But you are welcome to not necessarily be exact. you could just fold it approximately to there, and it would be just fine for the purpose of this project. But I'm just going to teach you for the next project, the Korean gift bag, how to fold a third. So one of the ways you can do it is it's called the S method. So in there, you would fold approximately to what you think a third would look like. And then the other bit, you're going to fold it going the other way, except you're not going to actually crease. You're just going to kind of keep it soft. So it looks like an S, like this. Or like in this case, it's an inverted S, but you could do it as an S anyway. So you're just going to, and then make sure that you try to line up the edges with the folds, and then you can gently make two little pinches, and there you go. Those are your third marks. Once again, you approximate what a third looks like, and then you fold the remaining piece of paper on the other way. Then you start adjusting. Now, if I was way off, so you can just move them towards each other. Make sure that the cut edges or the raw edges of your square are lining up with the crease that you are making, and then just make little pinch marks here, and when you unfold, you should have a third of the marks. Okay, now you can, this is one way of doing it, and there's another way of doing it which I will get to when we fold the girl doll, just to give you a second method. So this was pretty easy. You just fold it to the third mark, fold it up to the third mark, and you can make a nice sharp crease. In origami, we usually don't need any tools. Our hands and paper is enough. But if you feel like it, you could use one of like an envelope opener, or like a folder like this, or like this type, or sometimes you could even just use the pencil and then just make a nice sharp crease. It does make a good, it's easier than say using your nails, and we don't tend to use our, it's not, we don't tend to fold very sharp if we don't use one of these creasers, if you will. So the next step is you're going to fold this other edge. So you folded one edge towards the third of the mark. Now the other edge, which is now has half colored and then half white side, you're now going to fold that up towards the opposite edge, if you will. And in doing so, you're just going to try to match that third mark. And you know you've reached a third when these 3 points start lining up. So these 3 points, which is the top of the top, the bottom, and this little right angle here, have to all line up. Again, it is not important that be it exact, but if you were looking for symmetry, this is what you would look for. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be very exact. It's ultimately, it's just a person that you're making, so we're not all very symmetric anyway. So it's okay if it's a little off, but the main point is that this is the face and this is the robe. Okay, now our robe is a little pointy in the bottom, so we want to get rid of this sharp point so it can stand. And the way you would do that is you will fold the pointy end over here, the bottom of this, to that right angle point that I mentioned earlier. Okay, now your paper is really thick, so it's really useful to use one of these folders, if you will, or a pencil. Whatever you choose to use is fine. And now you want this actually going the other way. So in origami, this is called a valley fold, and when it orients the other way, it would be called a mountain fold. So you folded this because you had a reference point here. You do not have any reference points in the back. So then you reverse that fold, you hinge it going backwards, and then there you go. You have your emperor doll, and you can of course draw eyes, nose, hair if that's what you want, or just leave it abstract and a suggestion that this is a male Hina doll. Okay, now we are going to make the other doll, which is the girl doll. This one is the same as the boy doll, except it has 2 more folds. So let's make that. Let me get my paper, and I'll make a red one. Sort of matches the this one. So for the girl doll or the empress, we would do the same thing. So we're going to again start with the white side up, and we are going to do the same thirds. Now, one way of doing thirds, which is the easy way, is to just use this paper that we already have as a template. If we just held it here, you know this is the third mark. You could just fold this to this point, and you could approximate third and be very fine. Or if you want the girl doll to have a smaller face, you can actually fold it past the third mark. And if you want the face to be bigger than the boy doll, then you would fold it less than the third mark. So let me show you how to do the third in this case. It's a different way of doing it. It's called the binary method. In this case, again, you would approximate what you think a third would look like, and then you would make a pinch. Then you unfold that, and then you take the other edge, and then you fold it to the little pinch that you just made. Okay, so you have a pinch here and a pinch here. Now I take this and I fold it back to this new pinch that I made, and I fold it again. So you now have a new pinch. And then you fold this back to this pinch, and that looks like it's about a third. That's exactly a third. And then you would just fold that way. That's your third mark. So that's your third mark. And you just fold your thirds in. And then you're going to fold the other thirds in. Again, once again, you know it's a third when these 3 points line up. Again, it doesn't have to be very accurate. If you don't want to be, it's fine. But if you were aspiring for some accuracy or symmetry, this would how it would go. And then you would fold this in. Similar to the boy doll, you're going to fold the bottom to the this little right angle here, the point there, and then you would hinge it going the other way. You had it up going up this way, then you just unfold it and fold it going back, and then 2 more steps. So now you turn it over, and then you're going to fold these edges, which are the double folded edges, if you will, and you're going to fold it lining up with that little flap that you just folded. Like this is the flap. You're just going to fold it to line up there. Repeat on the other side. So it starts looking like an envelope right now. So you have 3 flaps, 1, 2, 3. They're all meeting in the sort of meeting in the middle here. And you turn it over, and that is your girl doll, similar to this. It looks like an envelope. And then you can draw, or you can also fold a little less if you want. Then you'll have a little bit more of the robe showing, similar to here. You could do it that way as well. But this is fine. It's very neat, and it's like a nice tight robe. You can actually make little ears too if you want, and you can draw, or you can use embellishments. You can draw buttons, or you can stick little buttons and make little buttons out of this. And of course you can make eyes and lips and wonderful embellishments to make cute little Hina dolls. And if you take the same square paper that you have in the extras, and if you want to make more, you could actually divide this paper into 4 parts and make 4 small dolls, like baby dolls or children, or however, or anything you want, or you could call them the ladies in waiting or the ministers. They just will be smaller, typical to the HinaMatsuri celebration. Let me just show you some other, I'll just switch back. So this is the display that I was showing you earlier. But if you look further, this is like another style. It kind of is origami. It is paper. There's some folding, but then there's a lot of cutting, and then these layers are layered in a way to make it look like the emperor and empress doll. You can see the hairline is quite ornate and quite distinctive. That's all done by folding and some cutting. So it's not quite pure origami, but it's still considered origami. I'm going to get to the next one. This is pure origami. There is no cutting in this case, but it is made with multiple pieces of paper. So you have, but the nice thing is it's three-dimensional in this case, and it's also, they are little containers. So you would lift the top part of the robe, and then there's a little container underneath. So it's kind of cute, different way of doing origami. And then you have the one we just made, much simpler. So anyway, so that's a little dolls for our HinaMatsuri. Now we are going to go to the next project, which is we are going to be making this Korean gift bag and the embellishment that goes with it. It's a lovely little thing to make a special gift and put a little something in it, and then you can close it. You can make a little decorative thing if you feel like it, and then you can just I'll talk about closing the box or packing the box later on, but you also should have this like a nice clip like this that you can just use for this project, and then I'll talk about other options towards the end. To make this model, you would use the bigger piece of paper that was part of your kit. Otherwise, this is scrapbooking paper that's available in most craft stores, and this is 12-inch by 12-inch sheets. There is also a half sheet that I provided, and this is to make the second two strips that we have, these two strips, to make the tab, to make this embellishment, to like this decoration. It's to make that, and so we need these two strips, and I will talk about them later. But this sheet of paper, the main lucky bag, if you will, or the gift bag, is made out of 12 by 12 inches by 12 inches sheet of paper, and this is made with 1.5 inches by 4.5 inch sheet of paper. Except we are going to have to cut this paper because this is 1.5 by 6 inches, but we'll cut this later. I'll talk about it more, how to get the correct strip size towards the end. But once again, these strips you're going to get it out of the half sheet that I provided, and we're going to make the gift bag out of the big sheet of paper that you should have in your kits. This is again 12 by 12. You can also make the gift bag with the small square that was provided. Like this square, you can also make it. It's just going to be a little smaller. The paper is a little thinner. This is a thicker paper, so it's more of a gift bag. It's heftier, so you can put a heavier thing. But if you make a small one with the thinner paper, you could put something delicate inside. To start with, the first step is you're going to start with the pattern side up. So the pattern side is up, and you're going to make 2 book folds, which is basically you're going to fold an edge to the opposite edge. So edge to edge fold. Now this really helps in folding containers in general to make extremely sharp and accurate folds. So it is nice to be able to use. If you don't have a creaser like this, please use a pen or pencil that you might have lying around, or you could also use the back of scissors. You could also use that, but something that will, I also have a chapstick. You could use that. Anything that's will not harm the paper, but at the same time will make a nice assertive crease on your paper. The next step is you're going to unfold and then repeat the other edge to the other edge. Okay, so far we have started with the print side up, and you have folded from one edge to the one edge, and then the opposite edge to the opposite edge. Great. So you have a plus sign right now. Now turn it over and orient your paper like it is a diamond. Correct. And then you're going to fold from one corner to the opposite corner. Once again, remember you now are folding with the on the white side up. So you had your first plus sign on the print side, then you turned it over and you're making this on the other side. Turn it around and then not turn it over, turn it around and then fold the other corner to the other corner or other. This way now you'll have a try to be as neat as possible. Make sure that the edges are lining up, the angles are lining up, and when you make your fold, make nice sharp creases when you are ready to commit to your crease. Then you unfold this. Great. Then you're going to fold the four corners to the center point. Okay, again, you're on the white side up. So you're going to fold the four corners to the center point. Often in origami, this is referred to as a blintz fold. So if you see in a book or something, if you see a blintz fold, that's what they mean. They mean you're folding the four corners of the paper to the middle. So just do two opposite corners and then do the other two. Okay. Now we are going to do that third fold I was talking about earlier. This is why we learned that S method and the binary method. I'll try to review it again with the S method because it's a little more intuitive than the binary method, and it's also probably a little easier. So if you really needed to if you would prefer the binary method, which tends to be a little bit more accurate, you can just go back to the earlier part of the video and then review it. But for now, we will be doing the S method of the third. So I folded this in. So to make the S, now you're going to be making a third here. This way, you have making a thirds of a fold. So you're going to fold. If you feel like it, you can always approximately mark it so you are comfortable. Alternately, you are welcome to use a ruler, measure it in centimeters. So this is about approximately 21.5 centimeters. So it will be 7.2 or something like that will be the third mark in centimeters. It's a little bit more accurate if you look at the centimeter mark because it's a smaller unit. So you're just going to fold it approximately in that point, and then we're going to fold the other section towards the back and try to line up the two edges, and then do two little pinch marks, and then once you feel comfortable, you will commit that point, and then you will fold your thirds, and then you unfold that, and then you repeat on the other side. Once again, nice and neat is nice. And then now you want thirds. So you made thirds 1, 2, 3 thirds this way. Now you want thirds going this way. And the way you do that is you already have the points here. So this is the point. This is where this is the point, and this is the point. If you look at your paper very closely, you have creases coming this way, and you have this. So the point, the place where the crease meets this diagonal, that's the point you're going to fold to. So you're just going to fold this up to that point there, and then you're going to make your third fold, and then repeat on the other side. And now you have thirds going all across. So you have thirds going this way and you have thirds going this way. But you only had to measure to that S thing on one side because automatically, because there's a diagonal, you have the marks for the thirds going the other direction. Now, what I would do is, now we have to make some couple more folds before we can make our box. So to make the next fold, we are going to be making an X right here. So maybe I should, yeah. So you have a crease here. These are your third marks. So you are going to now need an X going this way and an X going this way. So the way you get that is you're going to fold this edge to this edge. So you're going to fold the outer edge to the third crease at a 90-degree angle. I mean, that's the 90-degree angle, but you're going to be basically making an angle by, so you're making a 45-degree angle, and you're going to fold it only up to the third line, only outer thirds. So you can, if you feel like comfortable, you could even put the ruler here and then make sure you don't go past it, but it's not that important. And so you go in this way. Now you're going to go the other way. Once again, this edge is going to lay on top of this. So this 90-degree angle that you have, you're going to cut that in half. And the way you do that is you're going to line this edge on top of the third crease that's here, and then you're going to make a crease line. Now to X that out, or to cross that, you have to do it going, this is the other third mark. So you're going to again lay that edge onto this third, if you will, and you're going to fold it in X. So now you have a little X fold right here. Now you did it here. Now you're going to repeat on this side. Once again, this was the edge, this is the third, and this is the third. You're going to lay the outer edge onto the top third and make it one crease. Then you're going to lay it on the bottom third mark, and you're going to make that crease. Similarly here, you're going to lay this on top of the top third mark, make a crease, and then you're going to fold it to the bottom third mark. If you pay attention, you'll see that all the edges and points do at some point line up this edge on top of the bottom third and the top third and make an X fold on the outside. Okay, now the next step is to we're going to actually collapse and make the box. So fold this up and fold this down. So you open this up, and now you are going to first third. Okay, you're here. You're going to put this, fold this third in, and then there is a crease right here. That fold, you're going to fold it this way, and you're going to make this stand up like this. So it will look like this. And then repeat on the other side. So put the other third in. And you can, but it's easier to, when you do the other third, is to lift this up like this and lay this way. So this way you're not stuck to pulling out that layer outside. Once again, you were here, so you can either just lift this up this way. That's another way of doing it. Just catch this in the side, this outer triangle that you have here, this little triangle. You're going to lift this up and lay it on this side, and then you can do the same thing here. And then you would close this up and lay it down flat, and it starts looking like a little box right here. Now we're going to do the other side. So the other side, you're going to do the same thing, but this time you have this other triangle, and they're going to intersect. But now you're not going to make it into a box, because you're not making a box, you're making a gift bag. So you do the same thing again. You're just going to lift this up Lift this up. All the creases are there. And then you have these two little notches here. So you're going to take these two little notches and then you're going to push them down, and then you're going to bring this together like this. So once again, you're here like this, and you fold this in, and then bring this in. And then to close this box, the fold is not in the bottom, it's actually in the middle of this envelope shape. So this is your top white triangle, diamond, if you will, and you're going to basically make a new fold in the bottom of that square right here. And then you just close it. That's basically your gift bag. And if you take the pin that I gave you, you can just use it to close it like this. Alternately, if it's you want to send somebody a gift, you could also take a this is a double stick tape. I'm trying to find the end of it. Yeah, you just take that, you just rip it, and then you can just put it here like this, and then you can peel it. Now that's sticky on that side, and then you just put it in, and then you have a little gift bag, and then you can put the gift inside. And then you can also, you can do a little bit of opening and closing, but it won't last too many times, but it will last you a couple of open and closes. So you can close it, and then you can put a gift in. That's your Korean gift bag. You can also put get a little piece of string. You can put it around it, so then it's like a nice little a fancy, like a bag that you with a handle. If you feel like it, you can also use that. Terrific. So now we're going to do this little embellishment that I showed you, this one. So this is another thing you could actually just, you could just use some glue or double stick tape and make it this way, or you could stick it this way and make it look more attached, if you will. So that would be another way of doing it. You just take a little bit of double stick tape, and again, or if you have other stickers that you would prefer, instead of using something like this, then you may use that as well. So let's make this little embellishment that I just talked about. So once again, you're going to use the rectangle I provided. Now this rectangle is half of the original sheet that I gave you. So what you would do is you would fold this in half, then you would fold it in half, and then you would cut out one section like this. So this was the other half. So you folded this in half, cut this in half, and then you took this out. And this is basically, then you take that strip and then you cut that in two strips. Therefore, now you have basically, this is a quarter of the rectangle, and then you cut the quarter into two pieces, thereby getting an eighth and an eighth. This is an eighth, okay? Now, we still have a little bit more to do. So that's how you would do. If you had any square, you would take another square of the same size, you would cut half of that square, so this is the other half, and then you would fold it into quarters, cut a quarter out, and then that quarter you would cut into two pieces, so you'd keep eighth and eighth. So that's how you would construct your paper to make that embellishment. So to fold, to make finish the strip, you fold this along the long edge, you would fold the short edge to the short edge, and then you fold the outer edges to the new crease that you just made. Okay, so this was your fold. You folded it in half, unfold, and then fold the outer edges to the center crease. You're done. Now repeat that on this one. So now you end up with a 1 by 4. You have 4 squares basically. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we only want 1 by 3 squares. So we are going to take scissors and we're going to cut one off. So you basically want, in this case, 1.5 by 4.5 rectangular strips. But you also want the middle, you also want the creases that are here. So you have a crease here and you have a crease here. So now you're going to fold one corner to the, so you're going to make a triangle this way, and then you're going to fold a triangle going the other way. Now repeat that on the other side, the other strip of paper. You're folding one triangle on one side, and then you're folding the other triangle going the other way. And then you're going to put one, if you just, they should be matching, and you put one square on top of the other square, and then it's just like wrapping, closing a box. So you fold one going one way, then you go the second, and then you do the third, and then the last one has to go into this little pocket right here. So you just fold it in. And there you go. That's your little embellishment. And then you can actually just put it here. And you could stick it in, or you could just, there is a little pocket here. And you can just slide this into the little pocket here, and then make it a little bit heavier to close, if you will. And you could still put the paper clip like that, and then this would just sit This is the no glue version or no double stick tape version, but if you feel like it, you can attach them this way, and then you can put your gift inside and then just put the little double stick tape, or and then you can put a gift in, and then whoever you give the gift to, they can open it and then they can take the gift out. Once again, you can also make this with the small sheet of paper I gave you, or invent your own little embellishment to make for your gift bag. I hope you all enjoyed this workshop and are able to make your lucky bag and Hina dolls. Happy Hana, happy HinaMatsuri to all of you, and please post what you made on the social media sites and tag us at NSPL Origami or NSP Library, and tag us at Lifeline Origami. It's been a wonderful experience making this video for you and sharing my origami with you. I hope you all have a wonderful day.